Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Reedy Creek Perspective. I'm Terrence Jones. There are many wonderful traditions associated with Christmas, but there's none more exciting and none more beloved than the giving and the receiving of gifts. Whether you're young or whether you're old, there's something special about receiving a gift on Christmas Day, having it handed to you wrapped in festive paper, sometimes with a bow on it and a tag that has your name. And then you tear it open, the suspense, the mystery of wondering what it could be, and then seeing something on the inside that you always wanted or something that was just a complete surprise. That's a wonderful feeling to have. And there's also great joy in the giving of gifts. The Bible tells us it's more blessed to give than to receive, and that's a true statement. It gives us a warm feeling on the inside. It makes us feel good to know that we've done something nice for someone, especially if we know that they had a particular need. And we give that to them as a gift on Christmas, to watch them receive the gift and to open that paper and to see that expression on their face of gratitude, of excitement, of happiness, and then to see them enjoy what it is that we bought for them. That's a wonderful feeling to experience as well. But there's also a downside to the giving and the receiving of gifts. How many times have we received gifts that we really didn't want, gifts that disappointed us? Maybe it was something that when the person gave us, we had to end up paying for it over time. And then there's the stress of sometimes having to buy gifts for individuals that we don't know the things that they like. We don't know the things that they enjoy, the preferences, the things that they're involved in. And so it's hard to get a good read on what would be a gift that they would truly appreciate. Or maybe this individual, they already have everything that they need. So how do you buy a gift for someone who already has everything? And then sometimes we have to buy gifts for individuals just because they bought a gift for us. And there's no real joy in experiencing that type of giving. In this episode of the Reedy Creek Perspective, I want to talk about giving a Christmas gift to God. Now that might sound like a strange proposal, but I believe that we have the best gift to give to God. And my example is taken from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 38. And I want to read that verse for you. "I am the Lord's servant," Mary answered. "May your word to me be fulfilled." In other words, Mary was saying, "I'm yours, Lord. Do what you want to do with my life." Now, Mary's response comes after the angel revealed to her that God had chosen her to bring Jesus Christ into the world. Now, Mary could have said no. At the time, she lived in a very strict religious culture. And she was engaged, she wasn't married, she was engaged at the time to Joseph. But to be obedient to God meant that she would be bringing a child into the world when she was not married. Now, even if Joseph was open to this and he was understanding, because of the culture in which they lived and the rules that governed that culture, it meant that both of them would have faced severe repercussions for having a child out of wedlock. But Mary, choosing to be obedient to God before her own comforts, she becomes an example for us today. Now, as we think about our walk with God, as we think about Him working in our lives, the best gift that we can give to Him this Christmas is the gift of ourselves. And when I talk about giving ourselves, I mean giving our obedience to the fulfillment of His will in our lives. The more that we can give to God of ourselves is the more that He gets to use. And the more that God is able to work through our life, it means the greater blessing we can be in the lives of those around us. Now, when Mary was first confronted with this proposition from God concerning bringing Jesus into the world, as I said before, she could have said no, but she chose to be obedient in spite of what it might mean to her. She was willing to make that sacrifice. And even though in the moment, and maybe for the weeks and the months after, there would have been some pressure and some stress and repercussions that she faced, yet Mary's legacy of obedience remains an example for all of us. And as we are confronted about being obedient to God's will for our lives. I am sure there are times when we can look at that and we can think about there might be some repercussions if I choose to be faithful to God, if I choose to be obedient. But I want to encourage you that you will create a legacy that will endure as long as you choose to be obedient to God's will in your life. The more that God is able to work through you means the greater blessing you can be to those who are around you. And as we think about this Christmas season and all that it means to be a blessing in the lives of others, as we commit our ways to God, He is so able to position us and to provide for us that we can do great things in the lives of those who are around us. And so I want to encourage you this Christmas season, as you think about your giving and receiving of gifts, that you think about one powerful gift that you can give to God that will be a blessing to so many others, and that is the gift of yourselves. I want to thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Reedy Creek Perspective, and I want to wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode. God bless.